Hey man, look, welcome to another episode of Under Construction. I'm Rodney and got Kaz Associate to my right, Jamal below me. How you guys doing this week?
I'm doing all right. I got vaccinated, so the government will be at my house before the end of this show. So we have to wrap it up, within the next hour.
Gotcha. Jamal, what about you?
Um, Guys, I have been dishonest with you. There's a slight mutation in my pinky. I don't know where it came from. I think it's from the shot, man. I saw a satellite kind of circling my house the other day, man. I also think it's from the vaccine, man. So it's here, man.
But, yeah.
Sorry, we're being tracked. We're being tracked, guys.
Well, we got somebody watching from England. Wow.
Welcome to Under Construction. Thank you very much.
Gotcha. Hey man, look, I'm gonna tell you something I'm not tripping off of. It's called preseason. We lost 20-3.
Where's your passion, Rodney? Every game matters. This is the Panthers. You're Charlotte. What do you mean it doesn't matter? This is the Panthers, damn it.
Hey man, look. Sam Darnold played for 7 minutes and 22 seconds.
Is that a real stat?
No, he threw the ball.
It probably is.
He threw the ball 2 times. I was 1 for 2 for 16 yards, completion to Robbie Anderson, correct? And pretty much we had a good first half. Will Greer looked pretty good. And second half we forgot how to play football. The Ravens won their 19th straight preseason game. They're the 4-time defending champions because they win all their preseason games. So, fellas, tell me how you feel about the game yesterday. I'll start with you, Kaza.
Sam Darnold's first and only pass as a Panther was longer than any pass that Teddy Bridgewater.
Look, when you said that, I knew exactly where you were going. God.
No, okay, all right. I'm done. I'm off Teddy this season. I'm fine.
I knew exactly where you were going.
It's preseason, and this preseason is a little different than previous preseasons because there's an extra week before the regular season now, and with a 17-game regular season, I think coaches are a little bit more cautious. We're seeing a lot more guys down the depth chart play because there are more roster spots this year. So there are more guys that you need to evaluate. There's a saying in the NFL that preseason games don't count, but they matter, and I understand why these games they matter to the teams and the coaches. To the fans, they really shouldn't matter at all unless you are really that concerned about who the 4th-string defensive end is going to be. And if that is something you care about, then you should maybe be concerned about the Carolina Panthers. We haven't shown a lot of depth here late in the games in the preseason. And particularly in the red zone, an area where the Carolina Panthers have struggled for 12 years now.
Third down.
Cam Newton, maybe the greatest red zone weapon in the history of the league. The Panthers still
look. It's time for you to move on. He's been gone for 2 years. Yeah. The dab is dead.
I was going to say
the black guy's gone.
Here, we couldn't even score in the red zone. So,
hey, no, Kaza. Joe Brady, he's just saving all his red zone plays for the real season, man.
I'm hoping, the Panthers are, open up the playbook. We're getting just a lot of vanilla here, and they just want to see what guys got. I will say this: Terrence Marshall Jr. though, 3 targets for 50 yards. Man, are we gonna miss Curtis Samuel at all? I don't know. Hopefully, he's not like the training camp MVP. Like Curtis Samuel used to be every season.
Main Street All-Star.
Yeah, that translates over to the regular season. I really like to see what he's got. Tommy Tremble only had 1 target, but he caught it, and that's really all you can ask from your tight ends. I thought Chuba had a pretty decent game. I didn't think the Panthers looked all that bad in the first half. Even Weaver, I thought, we came down on him hard last week. But, he looked about as solid as you could look for a backup quarterback in the preseason. Mm-hmm. So, whereas P.J. Walker didn't look so sharp late in the game. So, it's so hard to evaluate what the Panthers are going to be from these preseason games. Really, I think that the tone of preseason has shifted to where we're now looking at the guys way down. Practice squad guys are what the preseason's about now.
So guy, before Jamal goes, I got a stat. So the Panthers have scored 1 touchdown in 7 red zone trip possessions this preseason, with three field goals, 1 missed field goal, and 2 possessions in which they were stopped on downs. That's worse than last year when they were 28th in the league with a touchdown percentage of 50.9% per Joseph Person. So Jamal said, I mean, you said it's pretty much right.
Speaking of that is a perfect segue to what I thought about the game. There are 2 words that used to come from our former coach that kind of define not only this game, but probably the preseason so far up to this date. Missed opportunities. You look at the
Why'd you even say that?
I'm sorry that I depressed Panther Nation just now. I apologize. However, it fits to what we've been seeing. And yesterday's game, man, even the first drive, we go down and we don't convert on the 4th down. Joey Sly misses a kick the next drive. Speaking of Joey Sly, look, man, I don't know if we're going to see some kickers in training camp the next 2 days, but things should be getting a little tight for Mr. Sly. Seriously. I mean, it's beyond critical at this point, man. But anywho, back to the game. Steve Smith was in the booth yesterday, and right before this happened, he said, "You know what? When we get to these 3rd and 4th quarters in the preseason, fundamentals kind of go out the window." Right after he said that, we missed about 7 tackles on one play, and the Ravens scored a touchdown. So it's kind of emblematic of what I saw the entire game, man. It was, I don't even know what the point of the starters were being in there because, like we've mentioned, Darnold threw 2 passes. I think Brian Burns played 2 snaps. I don't really get the point of the starters playing yesterday. But while they were in, they actually looked pretty sharp. I was actually pretty impressed with both sides of the ball yesterday. And I have a hot take, and I'm probably going to regret saying this. I think our defense may surprise us this year, but I'll go into detail about that later. But I actually think we look pretty decent, man. And I think all the cut candidates came out in the second half because it was just I don't know.
It's a cut fest.
It was a cut fest the second half.
Guys, I have a question. There is that I forgot the young man's name. Man. I'm gonna just skip on. I'm gonna bring it back up. But look, Terrence Marshall Jr. through 6 quarters in the preseason, 8 targets, 6 catches, 138 yards. Man, like is he making Robbie Anderson expendable in the future?
No, because there's news that we're looking to extend him that came out yesterday, which is a little odd. The timing is a little odd on that, but whatever. But being that we're looking to extend him, and being that Terrence Marshall in his first year, now me personally, I thought David Moore was kind of a lock for that 3rd receiver spot. That's kind of out the window at this point, in my opinion. Terrence Marshall may be the number 2 guy before it's all said and done. I'm sorry, not the number 2 guy, but the number 3 guy. He's not going to be in front of Moore or Anderson at this point. But right now, it's a good problem to have, and we like good problems with the Panthers right now. So I'll just say that.
Geyser?
Last season, despite what we thought about Teddy, Panthers had 3,000-yard guys, and I think they might do it again this year with Terrence Marshall. I mean, like it's preseason, so it's easy to overreact, but I think that he can at least replicate what Curtis Samuel was able to do as far as catching the football. He won't be able to do some of the things Samuel was able to do, coming out of the backfield, those end arounds and that kind of stuff. But I don't think the Panthers will miss that at all. I certainly don't think that he makes Robbie Anderson expendable. Robbie Anderson had a coming out party. That might be one of the best free agent pickups. He came as a free agent, right? Not as a trade.
Yeah, free agent. Yeah.
Might be one of the best free agent pickups in Panthers history. I mean, think about the Panthers history of free agents. Who have we ever got picked up as a free agent that came in and made an immediate impact and then signed an extension with the team? I think Robbie Anderson's our guy for a while. I think that he's surpassed DJ Moore as a guy. DJ Moore has actually had he had an underrated season last year and the season before last. But I like what Robbie can do, and I think he's going to take another big step this next year. He seems to already have some rapport with Sam Darnold. I know that they weren't, super close teammates as members of the Jets, but at least they know each other and there's some familiarity there. Mm-hmm. I think that might go a long way this coming up season.
I got a question. So
real quick, Chris said Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen came in a trade, by the way.
Yeah,
he was traded.
The best trade the Panthers have ever done in history. But
yeah, we fleeced the Bears on that one. I don't think that's safe to say.
I don't know. I don't know why they gave up on him so quick. Like I just don't get it. He wasn't bad in Chicago, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a quarterback issue. But question, man. So
that's an understatement.
Of the limited preseason that I have been watching, because I am admittedly not a fan of preseason, one person that has kind of got my eyes, Frankie Louvu.
Yeah, you stole my thunder. Yeah.
What are your guys' opinion of him, and do you think he can be a difference maker this year on the team?
So the first thing I think about was something else Steve Smith said during the telecast. Steve Smith said, "It is well established now that the Jets don't know what the hell they're doing." So with that being said, it's like Fitterer should write a thank you card to the Jets, man, because for me personally, Louvu has kind of come out of nowhere, dude. Like seriously, Vashti was kind of giving us a little bit of buzz about Louvu in training camp or practices, but outside of that, personally, he was relatively unknown. You know what I mean? But this dude is really flashing in the preseason, man, and most impressive. Like his pursuit of the quarterback is really impressive, man. And I kind of see them using him in a lot of blitz packages on third down, which is going to be that much more important for us since we can't appear to get anybody off the damn field on third down. So I think he could be a real critical piece for us, coming in this coming season.
Yeah, we talked last season about the deficiencies at the linebacker core, and guys like Louvu kind of make it to where make you think, okay, maybe we're not going to have those problems next season. In fact, I'd say that, man, Shaq Thompson, this make or break for him. It really is. He's going to have to show that he is the guy on that front seven as far as the linebackers, the back three are concerned.
Kaiser, I'm going to go as far as to say he actually has competition. I'm going going to go that far.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. Yeah,
because listen, man, listen between Denzel Perryman, Hassan Reddick, and Louvu now. To me, that's a crowded linebacker core, man, and there's got to be an odd man out at some point. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, maybe that's a hot take, but
hey, man, speaking of competition, I just got a call. I had a video a couple years back of me kicking some field goals. So the Panthers called me in to kick some field goals on Monday. Is Sly on the team opening day?
Yeah, but only by default.
By default, yep.
I mean, it's funny. A kicker is, if your team drafts a kicker, everyone in the league will laugh at you. I can't believe you wasted a pick on
the kicker.
Right?
Yeah.
I want you to go back and look at every Super Bowl team ever. What do they all have in common?
Drafted a kicker, right? A good kicker.
They all have an elite kicker. The Patriots don't win 6 Super Bowls without an elite kicker. They don't beat the Panthers without Adam and Gary. As far as I'm concerned, they didn't beat that game because Tom Brady knew, hey, all I got to do is get the ball to the damn 35-yard line, and
we're good.
Get a 57-yarder to win the game. The Panthers don't have that. Especially with the red zone issues that we have. Yeah, a kicker is going to be super, super valuable to the Panthers this coming up season. I think that's it's one of those things where, like, if you don't have the kicker, people don't really consider it like a hole in your team. That's a hole the Panthers got to fill.
Right. Jamal. Before you begin, Sheena posted this last night. Rules comments on Sly's performance. So far, Joey has not produced at a level we need him to.
What else is there to say? That's putting it as flatly as the coach could possibly put it. And to go back to the whole drafting the kicker thing, how humorous could drafting a kicker be when you draft a kicker? You don't have to worry about a kicker for the next decade.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. You think the Chiefs are going to worry about a kicker for the next 15 years? No, they're not. They got their guy. You think the Saints worried about a kicker when they had Morton Anderson for damn 30 years? No, So if the opportunity ever presents itself again, we got to pull that trigger, man, because now we're in this situation where you're going to be looking at literally guys off the street. Literally, those are your options. You got those guys, or you got Joey Sly, or you got Rodney. I mean, come on, man. Like,
my money is on Rodney at this point. I mean,
hey man, look, I am a flexible 300 pounder plus. If the cover gets away, I can make the tackle. If there's a fake kick, I can provide some blocking too.
This remind me of, man, like a few months ago, I got some really cheap breaks. You know what happened? I had to go right back and buy some more damn breaks. This is exactly what the damn Panthers is doing. They're buying cheap breaks.
There's a saying, buy once, cry once.
There you go.
Just get you a good kicker, like you said, be set for a decade.
Hey, guys, you remember that one time we drafted a kicker in the 6th or 7th round, and we cut him, and he went on to win the Super Bowl with the Chiefs? You remember that? Good times.
Yeah,
right?
good times. We are reminded every season since then. Yes, great times. Great job, guys.
So ever since, it's like we've been cursed ever since Casey left. We had a punter that was on steroids. I mean, that guy, he could kick. He can hit.
And he can fight too.
Yeah, on the juice. So since then, although Graham Gano had an underrated stint as a Panther.
Graham was solid. He was very solid.
But now I don't know. Hopefully Rodney makes the team. We don't have to worry.
Yeah, Rodney.
If I make the team, y'all can lose my number. I'm a 500,000 plus in there, or practice squad in there. Like, look, everybody can lose my number. I'm telling you, man. Like, you can't tell me a damn thing. Guys, man, I got another quick question. So, Will Grier, were you impressed with his performance yesterday?
I was.
Yeah,
I was. Kansas taking first.
We talked a lot of smack about him last week. I gotta take all that back. He played very well yesterday, so it does kind of cloud the backup quarterback situation now. We talked about whether or not the Panthers should keep 3 on the roster. The rest of the preseason, I think, is going to be instrumental in deciding whether or not the Panthers keep all 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty impressive yesterday, man. It's funny because PJ Walker looked terrible yesterday, and the question was raised on Twitter. Was that just a function of him playing with the third stringers, or was he really that bad? I'm going to say it was both. But back to Will Grier, at one point he was 11 for 12. You can't really ask for much more than that. You know what I mean? The offense was moving down the field. The only thing that held him back was Joe Brady. I mean, seriously, the only thing that held him back was Joe Brady and maybe the offensive line on a couple of plays. But other than that, he did everything he could possibly do to be successful, man. I mean, he did as well as he possibly could yesterday.
Okay, guys, okay. Before we move on, the Ravens won their 19th straight preseason game.
Super Bowl champions this year.
Look, four-time defending Super Bowl champions.
Lock it in.
And we had a total of 18 yards in the second half. I'm going to just throw that out there. 18 yards.
Again, 2 words. Cut candidates. You saw cut candidates in the third and fourth quarter. These guys will not be here next week.
I didn't realize it was that 18 yards bad. I didn't realize it was
No. It wasn't bad. It was awful. It was horrible and awful combined. It was terrible. PJ Walker, to be fair, did not have a lot to work with. However, he was not very accurate throwing the ball at all yesterday. It was just, it was nothing to see in the second half, man.
I don't know if the third stringer argument holds water because the Ravens had their third stringers in too. So
I mean, but they're defending champions.
They're the greatest team of all time.
Well, I'm gonna say this. They've had more continuity than we had, and they have an identity, and they can pick players based off that identity. And we're still trying to figure out some things with rule and everything like that. So I mean they haven't won a Super Bowl in almost a decade, but they've been solid for over a decade, transitioning regimes and everything like that.
But I thought our identity was just former Temple and Baylor players. Is that not our identity?
Hey, man,
I'll move on. I'm sorry.
Look, man, I'm not doing this with you today.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, man, look, I'm not tripping off that just like I'm not tripping on school. I
don't need school. What's that?
So, our rookie of the year, our superstar, our person who's going to get us 25 games on ESPN in the future said, we're not tripping off school. We're not dumb. We know how to learn. We don't need school. And school ain't even teaching you shit. What the fuck is school for? How do you feel? Like, does that speak to your soul? Or is it come from a place of privilege? You like how I threw that in there, guys?
Yeah, no. So two things can be true. Because in the context of LaMelo Ball and who he is, he's not wrong. He's absolutely not wrong. What did LaMelo Ball need college for? He didn't need to step foot on a court in college or in a classroom. He did the right thing by playing ball internationally. Now, although his hand was kind of forced there because he probably would have played at UCLA if LiAngelo hadn't gotten in trouble in China, but that ended up being the best thing for LaMelo Ball. So he's not wrong in that regard. Also, we all know.
Okay, Prillard, good joke. Jerk.
We all know also that college is not for everyone. We all know people that have college educations and what they now do in the real world is not equivalent to what they studied in college for. And we all know some people waste money in college. However, don't use that as a blanket statement. What I don't want, and this is important, I don't want a bunch of young broke cats who look up to guys like LaMelo Ball saying, I
don't need school either.
He's right. I don't need school either. No. You need school.
Your ass need to go to school.
6'8", shoots 35% from three, has otherworldly handles and ball
vision
and basketball IQ. You don't have that. College. That's not to say college is for you, but you cannot shut down your options because someone who is coming from a place of privilege. I mean, I don't think someone in the group debated that with us, whether or not LaMelo Ball came from a place of privilege. The guy got a Lamborghini for his 16th birthday. You, I, or no one that anyone in the chat knows got a Lamborghini for their 16th birthday. That's
I got a Mercury Topaz for my 17th.
I didn't even get a car for my 16th birthday. So
I got laughed at for my 16th birthday when I asked for a car.
Yes, that's not a knock on LaMelo or the Ball family. It's great that they've been able to be successful, but when you are successful, a statement like that is different. And to be fair, LaMelo Ball came back and clarified his statement.
Right.
Hey, I didn't mean that for everyone. I think that what he said was, if you want to be a doctor, you got to take your ass to school. So, people have to apply context to what LaMelo Ball said.
Context is not easy, bro.
Context? What is that? I don't. What is?
Look, LaMelo can do it. We can all do it.
You can't find context on memes. What is your problem?
You're right. Yeah.
No, but The very first thing I thought of was something Kaza mentioned, man. It was like the first thing I thought was I don't want a bunch of already dumb kids looking at this statement like, you know what, the hell with school myself. No. Again, he's not wrong, man. But at the same time, man, like you look at how he said it, you look at the quote itself, and the optics may look bad, but there's also truth in it as well. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really blame him for his honesty and his authenticity in that moment, because he wasn't doing anything but being his authentic self. But at the same token, man, like, again, going back to what I said, man, you just worry about, because listen, this dude has a gazillion followers on Instagram. You know what I mean? He comes from a place where his family is constantly under the microscope and the spotlight, and you don't want things that can be missed in context to negatively affect your fan base or the people who follow you. So he has to be kind of careful. And this is a lesson he should learn from this. He's going to be under a microscope, and you always have to be careful of what and how you say things, because you never know how it could come back on you. And I think that's an important kind of media lesson for LaMelo Ball to learn. You know what I mean? Because we know how athletes can make people dumb. You get what I'm saying? So we don't want this to be the start of LaMelo Ball making people dumber.
Guys, imagine,
hey, Cam Newton made people dumb.
I was gonna say, imagine if Cam Newton had said this. Oh my
Lord,
oh my
Lord
God.
Jesus, please, I don't even want to think about it, man.
I mean, it's. I mean, coming from him, it's not shocking. He's 19, 20 years old, and I fully think he was talking about basically him and his family with school.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so we might have read a little bit more into that, but we know that people don't understand that context.
Right.
And I'm glad he went back and cleared that up, because I mean, look, even if you're 6'8", all 6'8" ain't the same 6'8". Like I know 6'8" cats that out here flipping burgers and playing basketball in the concrete in the afternoon. So I mean, LaMelo Ball's a special talent, and college wasn't for him. But that's not to say that that's not the path for everybody else. So I'm glad that he recognized that and went back and, well, him or his handlers made him kind of clear that up. Like, hey, school is needed a lot.
Yeah,
we need more schooling out here.
I think
it doesn't have to be. It could be trade school, any other school. School.
Education is important. It might not necessarily be school. Like, I have literally a dozen IT certifications. I didn't go to college, but technically I did. But I didn't go to college proper. But I went and got a bunch of certifications, and I work in IT now. I got the education that I needed.
Right.
Yeah.
Although, but I knew that going to college was not for me, so I did not go to college. I went in the military, which was actually kind of like college. But I mean, that's
hands on.
Yeah, people need to understand that context. It does bring. I do have an interesting question though. Guys take a guy like LeBron James, who did not go to college either. He went straight from he didn't even play pro ball after. He just went high school to the NBA back when they were allowing it. He's always been a big proponent of education, building schools, giving to scholarship funds. And then that's always been something that the faces of the NBA have always done. Michael Jordan essentially really brought the United Negro College Fund to its prominence in the 80s by just giving away tons of money to that scholarship program. Will we see LaMelo Ball do something? I'm not saying he's obligated to do something like that, but I kind of think it's in his best interest to do things like that. Will we see him do things like that?
Well,
let me say this.
You go ahead.
I don't want to put that for lack of a better term, I don't want to put that pressure on LaMelo Ball right now, especially as a young kid. But what I worry about, and I want to take it off LaMelo Ball for a second. What I worry about, not only with LaMelo Ball, but with LaMelo Ball's generation, is that are they going to keep this legacy going, this LeBron, Michael Jordan legacy of giving back to education funds? Are they going to give back in the in the mode of building schools and promoting education. So I don't just worry about that with LaMelo. I kind of worry about that with the entire generation, man. But it remains to be seen, man. Like right now, all I want LaMelo Ball to do is just, man, cut down the turnovers and improve his 3-point shot. I will worry about that in the next 5 to 7 years, I guess.
I mean, he has some good people around him. Some of the names escape me, but if you look at LaMelo now, he has that AAU camp and all the other stuff starting in the area. I'm gonna say it like this, man. His background ain't like LeBron's or MJ's background. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
That's true.
LeBron grew up in the projects. Like LeBron had a more humble beginning, so to speak. And so I expect him to be a little more charitable because he understands a little bit more. I mean, we have to look at the background of these guys. I mean, a lot of these guys are second-generation athletes. So they don't necessarily understand like a lot of the struggles people are coming from and stuff like that. I mean, you can empathize with it, but you don't understand it. You get what I'm saying?
Unless you really lived it, right?
You really lived it. So I mean, it's no knock to him. He's setting up initiatives. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And we got to say like this, man. No, I don't necessarily subscribe to this thinking. Nobody's necessarily obligated to give back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't subscribe to that thinking, but people aren't obligated to give back. It's an option, something that you may or may not want to do.
Yeah. We don't want the next Michael Jordan running around here in the sense of we just demonize him and put false claims on social media. You know what? Never mind. Let's move on.
Man. Hey man, as long as he open up a prison, he's good in my book.
Right. Just invest in those private prisons, man. You'll be good to go.
Look. Disclaimer: these are jokes. Like this is not serious. This is not serious.
Yes, for the new viewers, we are heavy on sarcasm on this show. So please.
Look, we know Michael Jordan does not invest in prisons, and so we're just putting that out there now and just saying that out loud. And so don't hate mail us, don't hate spam us. We don't need all that. I'm just putting that out there.
It is sarcasm, people.
Look, man, we only got 9 nationally televised games. Is that a look? I mean, look. Last year when we had 1 and 2 at the beginning of the year, I mean, for us to even have like 4 regular televised and 5 NBA TV games, I'm not tripping off of that. So how do you guys feel?
Kaz, what you got?
I mean, you got to get the big markets in, right? Atlanta took a huge leap last season, and they have a hot young superstar, and they're the number 10 market in the nation. So we expect I think they got 13 games this season, but just on ESPN.
Well, actually 19 in total.
Yeah,
like
19
NBA TV.
So I expect them, and then of course you're gonna get your both LA teams.
Well, actually, it's 8. I'm gonna correct it. The Hornets have 8 in total, including the NBA TV. I just want to correct that. Yeah.
So those guys are gonna take those teams up the bulk of national television appearances because let's be real here, those are the teams that people want to see. Now, I do think that people do want to see the Hornets, but are there as many? Hell, in Charlotte, are there as many Hornets fans as Lakers fans? I mean,
don't get my blood pressure up today, man.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised. Yeah, 8 total appearances is, I think it's about par for the course.
It's a step up.
Yeah, the Hornets, and it's really, they haven't done anything. They got to show improve. They got blown out on the first ever NBA play-in game ever of all time. They got destroyed by the Indiana Pacers. That looms large to the league.
Let me tell you something funny though. We have 1 more game than the Pacers this year. Actually, 2 more.
I think they'll be better than the Pacers this year. And I think if the Hornets were healthy, they would have beaten the Pacers. But
no, Kazi, what's to give you some thought, man? Because I was going to say we got to earn it. Like it is a slight improvement, man. I don't see how as Hornets fans we can really be mad at this or complain. I understand the LaMelo effect, and we want our, we as Hornets fans first. We want our national. What's the word I'm looking for? We want to be on that national stage. Like we're desperate for that. We want to be relevant in the NBA. We've been craving this since God knows how long. But on the flip side, we got to earn it. We're not there yet. We did not make the real playoffs last year, regardless of what happened or not, man. But so these little 4 games, it's an improvement from the one little game we got or the 2 games we got last year. It's kind of a microcosm of where we're at in our rebuild, so to speak. It's just like we're on the brink. We can taste it, but we're not there yet. So if we can manage to win 45 games, let's just put a number out there. If this team can manage to win 45 games, make a playoff appearance, and make a little bit of noise in the playoffs, this number can increase the next year. So all in all, man, we got to earn it. Regardless of whether we like it or not, man, we still have more work to do.
Man, I got a question. I got a serious question. Don't crucify me for saying this. Did the New Orleans Pelicans earn it?
No. Hell no, they didn't earn it. They
have like 18 national games. Look, and this is my thing. People want to say that Zion is popular and all the other stuff. Melo has more social media followers than Zion. I would say Melo is arguably more popular or just as popular as Zion. But why does the Pelicans get the benefit of the doubt?
So I don't know why I think this matters, but here's a characteristic we're not really talking about. Zion Williamson went to Duke. He went to college. I think we saw how he can affect TV ratings in college. I think the NBA looked at that and said, you know what? We saw the ratings in college. We need to carry this over to the NBA. So they look at him as kind of this box office guy. You have real TV ratings versus Instagram followers. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm an exec in a suit at ESPN or whatever, and I look at that, I say, you know what, I'm going to go with the more quote unquote proven commodity as far as viewership goes. That I'm just surmising that may be the case, but who knows?
Guys,
no, yeah, I agree with that. And like Jay Anderson said in the chat, I think they want to push Zion. I think the NBA feels like Zion could be like the next LeBron James kind of player. I mean, to be fair, he's exciting to watch. I mean, the guy, he's Showtime out there, and you know the NBA always has like their one guy, and I think they want Zion to be that one guy. I actually don't think the NBA wants LaMelo Ball to be that guy. I don't think they like that image at all. You saw him in a GQ interview, dude, super iced out, got the super,
got the grills and the bling.
You saw him at the ESPYs. NBA does not like that image at all. Zion, first of all, went to Duke, which is like, you know, Duke. And that's all I have to say about that. And I think they feel like Zion does a better job at appealing to both youth and to the traditional basketball establishment, where LaMelo Ball, he don't give a damn about the traditional basketball establishment. He's just going to be LaMelo Ball, and you're either going to like it or not. So I think the NBA has said Zion's our guy, and let's get him on TV.
And it's just weird how the NBA promotes its future young guys. I mean, you got the number 1, number 2 picks in the draft who absolutely went at it in the summer league, and you got them on TV one time apiece. But I'm just going to leave that alone. I mean, hey.
Well, let me touch that, man. And this is Jamal, the grumpy old man, talking now, because back in my day, you know, back in the good old 90s, I kind of feel like it was way more balanced. Now, yes, you saw Michael and the Bulls every other day. Yes, that was the case.
Every game, WGN, man.
No, but I'm talking about more so on the national level.
Oh, gotcha.
But I feel like even on top of that, it was still balanced. Like they still wanted to put Grant Hill on TV. They still wanted to put Penny Hardaway on TV. Like you got both. You know what I mean? Like you got a good balance. And if you look at like this chart now, it's like, okay, LeBron, KD, Steph, forget everybody else. You get what I'm saying? And it's just a big imbalance to your point, Roddy. And they have a big time problem as far as how they're marketing their young guys. I'm not a fan at all.
Got you. Hey, man, you know what a lot of people weren't fans of? when they saw the name, when they saw the word Max, Terry Rozier's contract.
I gotta do it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just jump right in, bro.
The floor is yours.
There's a Twitter account, Hornets Hotspot.
Man, look, man, you doing this with the smoke, man. Go ahead, man.
I got to. The guy who ran that Twitter account was a member of the Charlotte Hornets Facebook page, the Charlotte Hornets Facebook page, which we're up to like almost 11K members now. Congratulations to us. But back when we did the sign and trade for Terry Rozier, I believe he was quoted as saying, if you get 14 and 6 from Terry, then that's a win. That's about what you can expect. I don't know why you guys are expecting 20 points a game from Terry Rozier. He left the group because he was so wrong that next season, and everyone gave him so much shit for being wrong. He just left the group, started his own Hornets group, which is now defunct, and now he just runs this Twitter account. And of course, when I saw that Terry Rozier signed for $97 million max contract, I immediately went to Hornets Hotspot and watched him cry. He just cried all morning about, hey, what are the Hornets? And he even said, oh, I like Terry, but man, the Hornets is going to bite the Hornets in the ass. Man, shit. Man, okay. So.
Is that it? Is that what you got?
Oh, man. Yo, that was elite like Terry's catch and shoot numbers, which is 44% over 60% years. So I just wanted to say that.
The Hornets finally did one of their guys right. This was the right. This wasn't like the Nick Batum signing in which you signed a guy based on what you wanted him to be. This is both of those worlds meeting. Terry really performed, maybe even outperformed his contract that he got during the signing trade. And we know that he could possibly be even better. This is how you reward your guys. Terry Rozier has been the best Hornet since Kemba Walker left.
Yeah.
Very short time where Devontae Graham outplayed him. And people were like, and then that kind of tapered off. By the end of that season, Terry Rozier was the best Hornet. He was the best Hornet last season, possibly the most consistent Hornet. Now, depending on what LaMelo Ball's ascension looks like, I mean, Terry Rozier may not be the best Hornet, but he's part of our core. I don't think that you can look at Terry Rozier. Everyone wants us to trade Terry. I don't get it. Why do you want to trade your best player? And I understand that
because that ESPN trade machine is pretty damn fun. Yeah, exactly, that's why.
Yeah. With +5 wins. Yeah. 0.5 wins. I get it, especially since we picked up Book Knight in the draft, and he looks like he's going to be pretty close to NBA ready soon. But you actually want a guy like Terry Rozier to be in front of a guy like James Bouknight. You don't want to just throw to the Wolves, especially the Hornets are trying to win. I think the Hornets did the right thing. He's still tradable. This might even make him more tradable.
Right. It locks him up long term.
Right.
It makes him more tradable. And look, at the end of the day, it's only $24.5 million per season. You have people like Mike Conley getting paid $30 million a season.
Ricky Rubio makes $22 million a year. Ricky Rubio.
I'm telling you, like it's.
I'm glad we dodged that bullet.
Oh yeah.
It's a middle class NBA deal, a upper middle class NBA deal that can easily be moved. Like if anything, if you're an NBA watcher. And you be like, oh man, no contract is unmovable. All you have to do is attach a sweetener with it, and every contract is very movable. And especially Terry still being productive, 20 points a game on 38. The past 2 years, 39, almost 40% 3-point shooting, 45% from the floor last year. Oh, top it off, 4.5 assists, 4 rebounds from your 2. He's basically playing the 2.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I want to go back. I want to go back to when we got. Yeah.
Right.
I want to go back. I want to go back a couple of players. I'm going to ask you guys a yes or no question. Did Michael Kidd-Gilchrist get a second contract?
Yes.
Yes. Did Cody Zeller get a second contract?
Yes.
Did Kemba Walker get a second contract? Not a third, a second contract?
Yep.
Yes.
Which everyone hated.
This is a no-brainer. There's nothing to discuss here. This is a no-brainer. Listen, people wanted to burn Michael Jordan at the stake. They wanted to show up at his condo downtown with burned stakes and kill him when we didn't sign Kemba Walker. Michael Jordan was the worst person in the history of Charlotte, North Carolina, when he didn't give Kemba Walker his contract before he left for Boston. So what the hell are Charlotte fans complaining about now? What are we mad about now, Charlotte fans? We got a guy who, number one, loves being here. Number two, kind of took a very affordable contract. Number three, produced last year.
Mm-hmm.
What? I'm sorry. We're still complaining about what here, guys? Now, going forward and how this looks going forward, the Charlotte Hornets, the narrative and the reputation obviously is they don't pay their guys and Michael's cheap, blah, 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 blah. Now, going forward, the next important piece to this is Miles Bridges. Are they going to extend Miles Bridges after this season?
That Miles Bridges thing is interesting. The people from Clutch are not going to let him sign the deal before he can prove himself more this season. And rightfully,
is that not a smart thing to do?
And if he was my client, he would not sign any extension this year,
right?
Especially given the end of the year that he had. If he could show that throughout the whole season,
yeah,
that's $20 million more.
Right. Now, like you said, that's going to be an interesting thing going forward, man, because salary cap implications aside, man, you would think that's a no-brainer. But Mitch Kupchak has came out and said that he also, and as far as building the team, it's important that we stay financially flexible. You know what I mean? And it stays the salary cap flexible. We don't want to go back into Nick Batum's salary cap hell either. So they're going to have some decisions to make going forward, man. But y'all know my favorite saying, optics matter, right? So you look at this and you say to yourself, all right, man, the Hornets are finally – I know it's just a narrative, but the fans look at this and say, all right, Michael paid one of our guys. Now it's going to be that much more important going forward that they pay the next guy, basically.
Yeah, I think this helps the Miles Bridges situation, mainly because that's one less contract you don't have to worry about. Terry Rozier is already locked up, and Nick Batum will be off the books by the time that
that's very important. Yeah, didn't think about that.
By the time that Miles Bridges is ready to actually re-sign a big deal, he'll have a qualifying offer, which he'll probably turn down if he's smart. And then I really would expect if Miles Bridges has the same kind of season like he ended last season, the Hornets will match. They will match whatever other teams give him, which is probably going to be in that $24-25 million a year range. And
I got a question though. What do we do with Loverboy, the heartbreak kid?
Who was that?
PJ.
Oh man.
I mean, it's a legit question.
First of all,
listen,
we get that counseling, and we get him a PR guy.
Oh man!
We disable his Twitter account.
Just get him off social media. Be like, hey, bro, just
Oh no. We need to have like a account manager to filter. Like, hey, I want to post this. Can I get approval?
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a subliminal. Nah. So we're only gonna post workout videos.
Yeah, he needs to work on spending time with his son in basketball. And
that's about it.
That's all I want to see from PJ Washington. Show pictures of you and your kid. I love seeing that. And yes,
and Lamelo, gang.
But Ronnie, I mean, we've talked about this quagmire for a couple of seasons now.
Hey man, look. I was the idiot for even saying this was going to happen because I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Obviously. So I'm just stupid. So
look, idiot. We're here now.
Look. Shout out to Rick Barnell who mentioned this a year and a half ago and was killed on his Twitter. R.I.P. to Rick Barnell. I even said this, agreed with him, and I was the stupid one.
No, but with all that being said, I think it's pretty. For me, it's the easy decision. At this point, you see what you can get from PJ. Now things are fluid, things change. You know what I mean? That's important to know. But if we're speaking of in this moment right now, it's an easy decision, man. I'm sorry.
and then also, man, honestly, I think Kai could be that backup 4 and start a starter 5 in the future, and you could just get you another big man. To be honest with you,
and that's another thing, man. Like a lot of people are kind of penciling in Kai Jones as a 5, and I don't subscribe to that. I think he's better suited to be a 4 or stretch 4.
Right. He got to gain weight. He got to gain weight and get stronger
But that's why I put him at 4 now. You know what I'm saying?
Because I mean, this year PJ's gonna play a lot of that backup 5, and people don't realize that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Kai's athletic enough to play the 5, but from a pure physicality aspect, I don't think that's too.
Can you imagine him trying to guard Embiid and Jokic?
Oh my God, that's a disaster. That is a disaster.
It's funny because for like 3 years now, people have been like, "Well, Miles and PJ are the same player," and I think
which I don't agree with.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. At one point, it might have been like close to being true, but I think this past season. Their Miles differentiated his game from PJ's. I'm not saying that like PJ didn't have a good season. I actually thought that based on what he was asked to do for the team,
he did pretty good. He did
well.
A very solid season actually. But what they the roles were so different to where now PJ has become more expendable than Miles. Miles isn't that expendable anymore, mainly because I mean I like Gordon Hayward, but if he goes down again, well, now you know that you got a guy that can play the 3 in his absence. I'm not saying Miles Bridges is a natural 3. I'm just saying that he can play it.
He can play it, yeah.
He proved that last season. He filled in for Gordon Hayward.
Well, look, even if Miles doesn't play 3, we got 18 other small forwards on the roster, man. So I don't think that's a problem we need to worry about. So
Taylor, you get it. Kelly, you get it.
Yeah, Kelly, Cody, who pick one? Yeah. So
Yellow.
Oh God.
moving right along.
Moving right along.
I just want some quick thoughts. Shacarri Richardson finished last in her in her race. And the Jamaicans finished first, second, and third. Thoughts?
She's smoking what they were smoking. The Jamaicans got that good, man. Obviously, she don't got that. She was smoking that Reggie.
And look, man, I remember hearing somebody talk who ran track, and she mentioned that Shacarri has never ran a full race as far as like getting out the blocks well. She's only 21. And this has kind of been maybe like a humbling thing for her. And she can get better. But I mean, she needs to just take this lesson and learn from it, man. I don't know, man. I'm not about to piling on with her, but I mean, hopefully she takes this as a learning lesson and get better. Because you got another 2.5 years to be ready for the Olympics again. So
right. All right. So my name is Broken Record, and once again, optics matter. When you talk cold cash shit for the last 2 weeks about what you're gonna do, and you come up with, I mean, not to pile on the girl, because I want to be clear, I'm not rooting against Shacarri Richardson one bit, but she came in dead last. That's a fact. You talked a lot of shit, and you came in dead last. That is very, very bad optics. And I think what is being glossed over in all of this was her attitude when she actually lost. It was bad sportsmanship. I'm not talking about, I'm not even talking about her saying that people can talk all the shit they want to, blah, blah. I am talking about sportsmanship. She didn't even congratulate the other girls for winning the actual race. That's a bad look, man. To Rodney's point, I think she should be accountable and just learn from this and just move on. Now, it is very, very important to not overreact to one race because it is just that. It's one race. But at the same time, like Rodney said, you got 2 years to prepare for the big stage again. Just focus on that. Like, the one thing I don't want for this young lady is I don't want to see her in the news for everything else other than performing well on the track. That's it.
Man, those Jamaicans on Twitter let her have it. But I mean,
listen, let's be real. Should they not have? I mean, seriously, dude. Like, let's be real. Like, she talked a lot, bro. Like, she.
I mean, realistically, did anyone think that she could beat the Jamaican team?
I didn't. I knew better, but I mean,
we know how dominant the Jamaican track and field their sprinters are. I mean, that for literally like the last 14, 15 years, Jamaica has had. I mean, we all know, of course, Usain Bolt, but we forget about everyone else on the men's and women's teams that were just outright dominant. And so that was always interesting to me when she didn't make the Olympics, mainly because the IOC banned her from competing because of the marijuana violation. I remember thinking, she ain't gonna beat the Jamaicans anyway. So
like, she should compete for bronze.
Right, yeah. So it's like, I mean, and she proved it. But I will say this, though. I do think that the media has an addiction with piling on athletes like Shacarri Richardson.
Absolutely.
Her image. They look at her like, oh, look at this chick from the hood with the eyelashes and the fingernails and all that. They tried to do the same thing to FloJo back in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, they can't wait. They can't wait for her to fail.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the media, they just could not wait for her to fail, and that's really unfortunate. I'd like to see her, show the media up.
But you know how you set those people up?
Win.
You win.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Man, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you this, man. She look in the next 2 years when she cleans up some of that stuff. She look, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
That's what's up.
She's gonna clean it up. All right, shout outs, man. Anybody got shout outs? I'll go first. Ladies, when you're at a sporting event or just in life, just kind of watch what you say, especially when you're with your dude, because you can get your dude hurt. Prime example.
Anybody can get got.
Anybody can get look. There's a video out of this woman slapping another grown man, and her boyfriend got beat up. It got
Steelers Lions preseason game. Yeah,
Steelers Lions preseason game. So just kind of tread lightly. If you know your man ain't built like that,
I'll say at least her dude. He stood up and took his ass with her like a man. He knew it was inevitable at that point when he saw his woman slap old boy, and old boy was like, okay, I'm not gonna hit you, girl. But then the dude stood up, and then he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna hit you then, and knocked him out. It's telling. Who did they say? Who the people that were that witnessed the whole event? Who did they tell they need to get him out of there?
The black dude.
The black dude. The guy defended himself. They were like,
the guy defended himself. He has to go. Right.
Yeah, he the one. He's the one that got hit. He's the one that got pushed, and he's the one who provided the discipline. But he got to go. Oh, okay.
Right. My favorite part of that video is when he took his glasses off, because that was fair warning. That was letting you know, all right, I'm trying to let you know I'm about to knock your ass out. Now, if you want to continue, you can. They didn't get the message, so.
Hey, some person Foe guy became a internet celebrity. What? This guy not gonna be?
Of course not. I have I have one quick shout out, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. Shout out to everybody, all the new fans watching. Like, share, and subscribe, please. And just again, thank y'all for tuning in, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Lamelo Ball. Today's his birthday, or yesterday was his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do have a somber shout out, man. Shout out to Bismack Biyombo, whose father passed away today, man. So sending our heartfelt condolences to Bismack Biyombo. And again, once again, his father passing away. So our condolences to Bismack.
Absolutely. He'll always be part of the Charlotte basketball family. Two franchises.
Yeah,
No
two
doubt.
franchises. Bobcats
No
and
doubt.
Hornets.
Bobcats and Hornets.
No doubt.
He's
No
a Horn
doubt.
Cat. All right, guys, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday, wonderful weekend. Make it worth your while. Don't freak out too much over preseason. The Ravens should be 4-time champions, and they're not. Love, peace, and hair grease. Peace out.
Peace out, y'all.